Let's check some ratings. Let's skip that track. Guess that's a little annoying. Let's see. What would we call the favorites today? From Spain, Durnet, Balampi, or Minsk Chickets. Let's check it out. Oh wait, we have the Danish live. Let's just rectify this. Update and reload Hattrick. 1 sec. What the actual? Looks like it's in English now. Alright, we have a man mark here. Let's see if we can get the page loaded. Okay, Diego Cruenas. Man marking Barella, and we have Galas Kubali man marking Grenga. Should be less effective since it's an unpredictable player, but that's perhaps it could be better man marking the quick player, but we have no idea if they actually knew that. Let's see if we can find the chat here. If anyone entered just now, I've only just reopened my there we go. Okay, let's check the impact on those man marking. All right, so it was 47, 40, 47, 53. Now they have the edge in the midfield. Durnet. But less chances to convert in the offensive sectors here. Wow, very close in power rating, 1200, 1203. Let's just reload here and have a look. It comes down to chance distribution. It's kind of a coin toss here. I wouldn't necessarily say that Minsk Jiggets is this favorite due to the midfield. But if we just take a look at solid stamina. Excellent, 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 excellent. I think I gotta give it to Gurnit. Actually, yeah, I think they should be a little better in the stamina game. But if they get a few early chances, they definitely have a chance. These quite favorable attacking sectors. No tactics here. Not really surprising. Both teams. The classic 3-5-2. Scary striker here. Utilias. $13. 13 stars. Which one would you rather win? The Masters or the World Cup? That's a hat-trick manager. Oh, we might actually have to factor in the PNF here. Might actually be key. It's funny, it says Minsk Jiggets are in control, but I think it's an average of the first 10 minutes. Something like that, because it's not the case anymore. They are behind on position. Whoops. I'm calling a 3-2 win for Gurnit Ballon P. Let's write it in the chat so we can refer to that later. Still have the first. Still have to wait for the first chance here, but it always seems a little slow when you're not looking at too many matches at the same time. Papito, hello, welcome in. Nice to see you in the chat. From Spain, if I recall correctly. Isn't that correct? Hope you are having a good evening. I suspect that you are cheering Dernet, Ballon on here. They are actually attacking on the left now. Filippo Grenga, the man marked unpredictable striker, 32% chance on the left. Let's see. Perhaps we have to ready the... Yeah, we do. It's the first goal of the Hattrick Masters Final. Was this actually... No, it wasn't recorded for you guys, so... Whoopsie. Did you hear that at all? See if there's a... I think it's working now, yeah. First goal of the evening. Filippo Grenga, Italian striker. Close to his 32nd birthday. 126 carrier goals. Good start to the Spanish side. Playing an international lineup here. Two Spanish players in the lineup. And let's just see how domestically biased the away team or Minsk are in this encounter. They have a Spanish midfielder, Barella. He's being man-marked. Just two domestic players in the away side. Interesting to see two top teams in the Masters not really utilizing homegrown players. I guess at least in that department we'll be ahead once the teams in Denmark and San Marino should be peaking and perhaps competing, but the question is, of course, will we be able to lift it all to the top of the club international game in Hattrick Masters? Time will tell, but we will definitely have more homegrown players, that's for sure. I want to go over the form situation for both teams here. Excellent form, solid, excellent form, passable form. Somewhere close to solid average form for Dernet. Let's see, solid. I would call it a close to solid average. Solid. Oh, I think Krum Kichev has closed down an opportunity here for the home side. The PDIM doing good work for the away side. Bulgarian powerful defensive inner midfielder. Let's see, excellent. a bit of an advantage for Dernet on the form, but it's very little advantage there. We have a final thing to check up on, and that's experience. Supernatural, level 14, world class 13.5, extraterrestrial. Is that level 16? I think it is. Magnificent. We are around world class. Supernatural. Magical. Titanic, I would say now, 15. Magnificent. Closer to world class. Mythical. I'd say supernatural average for Minsk here. Let's check on the Spanish side. World class. Magnificent. Supernatural. Brilliant. Brilliant. World class. World class. Brilliant. World class. They are supernatural. I thought I saw a divine experience there, but they are behind and they are leading. That means, should we come to the 75th minute, I think, perhaps even 70th minute, you could see the home team getting a little nervous. That's so far ahead into the contest. We are 20 minutes in and we have the Spanish side, Dernet Balompi, leading the Minsk Chickets 1-0 in the Hattrick Masters Final. And we're actually halfway through the first half. We don't have anyone fielded that should see any big loss in capacity due to stamina. But we do have an interesting encounter here simply because the odd chance for the, not the away side, but the team listed as the away side, Minsk Chickens here, and you could see them score quite easily. If we come into the later stages of this match with a 1-0 lead for the home side, or a 1-goal lead for that matter, they are the less experienced side. So everything to play for Minsk as well. But 24 minutes in and it's Dernet leading Minsk 1-0. Filippo Grenka scoring from the left side 14 minutes into the match. We've had 2 chances reported here, but let's take a look-see. Kvakvare Sinaritse. Whoops. Looks like they are ready to make a change quite early. Should be within 10 minutes. Will they be quick to react here? From Georgia. Hey Danny, wouldn't it be interesting to have a live moderator like on a radio station? Built with an AI or something. Or perhaps, let's see here. He plays mainly as a winger central integrated within HT. Yeah, perhaps, I don't know. I mean, I used to do some, like I was on the Danish HT radio sometime like 15 years ago. That is really fanatic. So you would imagine someone like from the ground? A yellow card for Abu Hatzira. Israeli winger here, playing towards the middle tonight. Like I saw like Johan and Chase Tassos yesterday on stream, and like I heard they were keen to add more comments, at least to the live commentary. Which would be interesting because some of them you already know as soon as you see. Perhaps a few sound effects would be cool. But for now, let's keep an eye on Clinton Garcia Summit. It's 2-0, and this could be crucial. Crucial for the home side. Clinton Garcia Summit from Malta makes it 2. And let's just okay, so take note of this, guys. We don't see a drawback here. That means Dernet is in a mutz. Question is though, like if you were GM Jacoso, would you prefer to be having a drawback now? Let's see. They could be replying instantly here. Krum Kichev. Down the right. Could be they don't want the drawback. Oh, he misses. But they have a PNF. They have a very strong PNF as well here. They do need more variety in the comments, or a comment that has two outcomes. Long-term players know the outcomes. In the commentary it gets very repetitive after a while. Definitely. Welcome in, Mambo. Good to see you. And sorry for not announcing the stream more in advance, really. It was a bit of an impulsive idea to cover this. But I haven't been streaming for a while, and it's been so busy during the weekends. It's crazy. Been writing an exam paper. I handed it in this Monday, and well, just a lot of stuff going on during the weekends. So I wanted to seize the moment, carpe diem, and get some streaming done. Honestly, because it's very fun. It's a bit hard sometimes. Like if you're only covering a few matches or a few international matches. But it's the Masters Final. This time frame is slightly more friendly. I can watch before work. Oh, you get up very early before work? I see. I think this Saturday I can't stream the HGI, but next Saturday should be possible. Let me just double check that. Oh yeah, finally. Feel like I've been neglecting it, and I also think perhaps I should like do some HGI recaps during the weeks where I can't get to stream. Because I really want to do more for the HGI. 32 minutes in. Do we see any signs? We shouldn't. Of players losing capacity here in. Quite lucky for Dernet, not conceding in the right side. 64%. It's actually the best sector for Minsk. Unlucky. And the PNF not moving at all. Perhaps it's a smart move having two central defenders. And if we look at the analysis here, do they always play the PNF here? Not necessarily. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's the semi-final. I thought they were playing them in a game in Andorra. Yeah, that's right. My initial bet, or my pick for this one, was a 3-2 win for Dernet. Still possible here. 3 chances reported. 10 minutes remaining here. Arena Libre. The suburb of Libertad, El Salvador, with the honors of hosting the Masters Final. Okay, here comes the change. We already saw the indication 10 minutes ago. Are you Coppins? Excellent form. He wasn't man marking. Why does he make this change 35 minutes in? Excellent stamina. Oh, because this guy only has even more experience. Do you think this is a set piece monster? Is this a set piece monster, guys? I mean, he's certainly an experience monster. They are well in the lead now, with 27 thrown into the mix. So that's why he... Oh yeah, and obviously he doesn't want to do it the other way around. To start him in the game. Because you want the experience change, not the change, the check late in the match. Okay. It did seem a little strange initially, but magnificent. That's more than a double experience. Solid form. Has less loyalty. I like the idea of bringing in this player. 51 golds. Let's see. Coppins. Oh, that's Coppins. 57. But he's not a set piece monster, no, because he's not tasked with the job at least. Perhaps he'll take over the job. Experience seems will they get nervous if they lead by more than one? You actually tell that in the manual. Let's see, psychology. Psychological match events. Oh, there's no pullback in the final. It doesn't even have to be a mods. I remember that. Silly me. Claiming the mods. Could be it's not true even. I think I might automatically mods if I was ever to compete in a Masters Final though. Doesn't say anything about the nervous event. I've only ever seen nervous events in in the last 10 minutes of a game. Imagine getting one in the Masters Final. Well, I think it's very likely to happen in the Masters Final. But it can only happen for the inexperienced team, and if they are in the lead or they are even. But that's the case right now. I mean, Dernet is less experienced, but they are in the lead. They're even further behind. It would be everything for the drama. Do they have a brilliant, world-class, brilliant, excellent, world-class? They don't really have anything to change, to turn the tide in the experience battle. Could check Minsk though. World-class, supernatural, magnificent. Ario has been played. No, they've already played their cards, but I mean, the worst case scenario, beyond being down by 2, 41 minutes into the game, would be the substitute, the experienced substitute wing back being injured and not having a proper substitute for him. But for the sake of an interesting match, let's hope that doesn't happen. Wouldn't want an unfortunate event like an injury be all too, do you call that? Hey McCulloch, nice to see you in chat. Yeah, I mean, I thought of, like, I was thinking about it a little during the day, but I didn't really know, so I didn't really post anything in advance. And then I just, this impulsive urge to just go ahead and stream the Masters Final came over me, so I went live, because it's been quite a while, been busy, so it's also nice to be behind the mic a little. I'm still thinking my initial pick of 3-2 for Dernet, and this one looks like a very likely outcome. But it all comes down to the second half, I think. I did spend a little time with the Danish national team and played a very little part. We are knocked out. So, and yeah, I feel we were quite unlucky in that adventure. But for now, I mean, I guess I'm talking about, would I want to win the Masters or the World Cup? And for now, from the personal perspective, just competing, just playing one match in the Masters would be amazing. Let alone have a chance to compete in the final one day. That would be at least not something you would expect, right? I mean, look at a guy like Mish, his amazing team, and you gotta be consistent, you gotta be lucky, and a lot of very good teams to beat as well in such a tournament. But I would definitely pick the Masters. Probably because I've never won anything with any of my clubs. I think the highest level I've played in was Division 3 in Denmark. Years back. Enough about me. In the match between Dernet and Minsk, it's 2-0 for the Spanish side as we approach the half-time here. Do actually see a small crack in the capacity here on the left wing. Master's so distant, haven't followed it at all. Was hoping Mish would be there this season. Yeah. I mean, you could. I mean, the argument for the World Cup is definitely having like a combined effort. Oh, look at Nordstrom here as well. I think he dropped a little. It's the combined effort of a community. One thing is, like, you have to train a lot of players and you have to have the best of the best to pick from, right? And I kind of felt that a bit being a small part of the Danish tactical team. But I do feel like the Danish community is so what are you laughing about, Mambo? That I was a very small part. Well, at least I was a very small. It's rough in the Danish community. Oh yeah, like you winning the World Cup for Australia. Nah, I mean, if you are committed and if you have a good team, if you have a good set of sparring partners in your team, why not? Oh, you need to have an Australia first as well. True. That's you'll need that as well. Obviously. How could I forget? I mean, we even made an episode about that. How could I forget? But I do see, like, our Danish national, under 21's national manager now, he is like solely dedicated to the national team. They're doing quite well. Lost the first match, now 7 wins in a row. Already qualified for the quarterfinals, I think. And Oceania is about to hit a golden generation. It's exciting times for under 21. Nice, very nice. Do you remember this name, this lad? I do. I will never forget this guy. He got to play 14 matches. Unfortunately, towards the end of this campaign and his under 21's career, he's been benched. Really impressive by Denmark. Maybe not a very tough group, but nice. Well, he's definitely... he's doing well. I'm fairly sure they were a little bit worried about Sweden doing well as well. Yeah, Latvia. Just a little worried about it. Denmark, Sweden in the Euro final. That would be a sight. Bulgaria doing Asia. Denmark winning their group was the only group when I was sure of when I saw the draw. Yeah, and Ragnar's been, he said all the way, we're going for the gold medal in the Europe Cup. Let's see, Oceania. Oceania. Am I blind? I'm only looking at the first place team here. Golden Generation. Sanko Mango, I think you mentioned him. Bangladesh. Temate. He would be for playing for New Zealand, I think, right? Isn't that a Maui? Wineglass Bay Wombats. It's interesting to see the regions. We looked at it. When we made that episode for the podcast. It's been so long since I made those episodes. Temate has been instilled in Oceania folklore at this point. I have my own Temate in Wild Hearts. Oh. But wouldn't it be... Isn't it to me it just sounds like Maui. Kinda. But if you actually look at the regions for... Ignore it. Regions right there. Yeah. Definitely the new players often from Australia, but that's no surprise. Also with like Tahiti getting the actual nation now. 5 minutes. And we will have to see if there's a comeback coming from Minsk. 1 second, I'll be right back. I just need a new glass of water. I think there'll be an not an HGI stream, sorry, a San Marino stream Sunday evening. I haven't posted about it yet, but Saturday I'm going to a Christmas party. Christmas party. Oh, excuse me, I'm muted. Sorry about that. Perhaps I should ask again, what would you guys do? Would you count on just experience to turn things around, or would you do more? Would you go offensive if you were... Thought I was talking on the phone. I wasn't. I was saying all these interesting things. Right now I'm just looking at the list here to check, see if we could easily identify another Spanish winner or another Spanish champion of the Masters. Nah, I was accidentally muted. It's what happens. It's just to prove that it's alive. It's alive. It's not a pre-recorded stream. Goals win matches. In the final, nothing to lose. One chance to win it. Go on the attack. I know it was popular when the Swedish long shot team won some seasons ago. Oh, so this the spectators forum was a mess. Did it go crazy? Long shot is the most frustrating tactic to play against. Not if you have a team. Why does that tactic exist? Yeah. Like pressing is like super strong against it. Swedish team that won it. Let's see if we can find that match. Bring it up. Smoking lederne. Why didn't I check what season they won? 79. I wasn't even returned. Regular matches. Oh, here it is. Let's Liderne versus Vijayapura. Vijayapura Vipers from Brunei. If you look at these ratings, if you just look at the ratings, you would be like, yeah, that doesn't seem right. And perhaps it isn't, but if you look at the chance distribution, missed quick event, Roberto Bacci, yo. Oh. All even in the chance distribution. That's not too far off, right? What kind of chances do they miss? Central? They miss one right attack. I mean, they're actually quite unlucky they don't get regular chances, because that would definitely be the highest conversion rate. Okay, it's not unlucky for smoking leader. Definitely not unlucky. But, I mean... They did drop like a few bombs yesterday. If you listen closely, like we're going to rebalance the specialties and everything, but then they went a little backwards on it as well, saying, well, we can't say we'll never change it, right? But I trust that you could at least finish one build. Be at least another 10 seasons before we are really competitive with both the team in Denmark and San Marino, which is quite good. We need more time to develop players and earn as much money as we can. 7 minutes in, no indications of any changes. Still, we did have an early change, getting a very experienced right wing back. I should correct myself there. Kvakvare Sinaritze. Doubling. Now we have a situation here. Elat Abu Hatsira. Keeper diving for the ball. And we have the claw one back here. Minsk Jickets. Elat Abu Haritza. 2-1 now. 54 minutes into the game. And a glimmer of hope here for the away team. And we'll play a little dong for the Jickets. That's the sound you used to hear on Danish television in the 90s at least. You will be able to follow the English matches for the betting coupon. Those were the days. On public service channels. As well. You wouldn't see that nowadays. Today you only get Hattrick on public service. Well, not a public service, but it's not a paid platform at least. YouTube. Not necessarily, but you can get the sound here. Ten minutes in. Hattrick needs a South American commentator when a goal is scored. I think it might be a little not intrusive, but yeah, goal. I actually have a, like on my Twitch channel, Redeemable Points, I do have a sound bit like that, and then I have some classic Danish commentators, like when we scored against Germany in the final in '92, and then an old school, like a Danish, like common, or der er mål, and it's a goal. How they used to say it in black and white television as well. And I think I have one from '86 as well. Sven Gears, yeah. You were at that game? You were at that final? Are you kidding? Are you joking? Sweden, Germany in the semifinals. Anyway, this is a Hattrick Masters Final. Alfred Sanchez. Right attack. Could very well be a goal here. It is. Instant reply from the Spanish Gernot Ballonpi. Dad got tickets. We hoped Sweden would be there. I think. Most euphoric moment when a goal was scored. I can imagine going to the World Cup must have like be so big. How old were you, McCulloch, back then? I mean, I was 5. I barely remember it. I've seen pictures of people celebrating in Copenhagen. When was it? The 26th of June. I mean, I wish I'd been older, like 20 or something. Yeah, World Cup '94. Like I remember, I remember that much better, right? Staying up at night, watching the final between Italy and Brazil. Roberto Baggio missing his penalty. And yeah. Sweden just playing absolutely beautiful. And I think Is it the under 21s that has the Rabanelli keeper and the 94 shirt? The legendary goalkeeper. If I can oh yeah. And it even says Ravelli on the back. You can yeah, and like it's the kids from '94. Hinke Larsson he still had his long dreadlocks. Oh, they actually missed. Oh, and now he gets a yellow. Hey, Ben, welcome on in. Good to see you in chat. So the PNF didn't work this time around, and it might be a good shout having two central defenders here because he gets a yellow instead. 64 minutes played. Be right back. I saw you promoted a few of the homegrown players now. It'll be interesting to follow. The wingers. Almost halfway through the second half. And we are on track for the 3-2 picks. The 3-2 pick I went for initially in the stream. See if I can find a picture of that. I mean, you can't even tell how many people is in this picture. Ah, well. One day, perhaps. One day, perhaps. Lovely. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how crazy everyone would would go. Let's see, Jacobs with a single Vento Torvinen. Let's see what impact it has. They lose a little in the mid, gain a few percentages in the attacking sector. "22 minutes, that means halfway through the second half. And it looks like we are about to crown a new Masters champion, a new master. GM Jacoso. But we have to pay attention to the experience advantage we have for Minsk tickets. And we have yet another little adjustment here. New instructions. What's going to happen? Or it doesn't say. Right central defense, offensive. They have gained at least a little on the midfield. 2%, and then they lose. They actually open up on the left. It's a bit of a gamble, but they need a goal now. And perhaps trading ouch for a chance in the central, like getting a midfield rating and then some central attack rating as well, because it's more likely that you'll get a central attack than in the side. It could be interesting. Everything can happen still, and now I think it's 70 minutes in and above. The nervous event can occur, and they are far behind. Or at least like a level, bit more, perhaps even 2 levels below. So they could get nervous towards the end of the match here. That happens. It's well played by Jiggets, but right now Durnit leading by 2, 3-1. Did he pick up an injury? He was always injured. Only 6 chances reported so far. It could be in for a thrilling end to this match, which it deserves. Deserves a thrilling encounter, certainly. We do see Torvinen lose a little. Same goes for Abu Haritza, Hatsida, Tommy Petri Nordstrom, Finnish central midfielder. Also starting to look a little winded. Gallas Koulibaly. When you say it like that, it almost sounds Finnish. Could it be that he's starting to gain a little star rating here? Nah, 6.5. Oh yeah, obviously before the man marking. Should be interesting to see the stamina on Gallas versus Gringa and his contribution to the attack ratings here. 73 minutes played, still 3-1. I think we'll see a lot of chances in the closing minutes. You guys like the changes to the youth academy? I mean, it makes more sense that you sit in a scouting meeting and say, you pick out the player, like, we're gonna place our bet on this guy, rather than, oh, the scouts don't say anything, like keeping everything a secret, losing the player. I do like the gambling aspect though, that you have to make a choice, like the way I was lucky to get a young 16-year-old because he had interesting text. But I guess that'll be the last ever scouts call like that for Intercalpeo. I do think it does perhaps, it does feel more meaningful for the average user. I'm quite certain. So for anyone new coming into the game, I think it's a good change. It should make sense. All right, I did see some percentages move there, coming into the 75th minute, and it's darn it. Winning the advantage on stamina. But we might see a move in the other direction if we get a experience event. Tickets should be the better side here. Still 6.5 stars due to the man mark from Gallas here. Less than 15 minutes to play now. Surprisingly slow in both the chat and in chat in Hattrick and in the forum. I wonder if it always happens in like the 75th minute or the 80th minute. With the experience event, that is. Let's not worry about those charts right now, the stats. "79 minutes played." Still no actual substitution made. No indications that we'll see any of those in the final 10 minutes of the game, even though I think it varies between 5 and 10 minutes from the notification in the match report. But 10 minutes to go. Looks like a Spanish champion of the Masters is coming up here, but we all know that 10 minutes in Hattrick can be an awful long time if you are trying to hold on to a lead. Let's see. If we just reload Danny's Hattrick Helper Simulator here, it's quite heavily favored. Nah, not heavily, but it's favored towards Durnit, and it's because of the stamina implications now for Jiggits. I'm expecting to see Grinka rise to 7 stars anytime now. Really. Because his man marker is falling in his capacity. Even though he's in solid stamina. This is just a notification of an end of the winning streak. If it ends like this right now, it doesn't have to be any indicator for the end result here. mean, if Minsk is to have any advantage of the experience event, it'll have to happen sometime soon. What you sometimes see is it happening in the 89th minute of play. That would be a shame for Minsk, now that they actually play on winning the experience game, or the experience layer of the game, actively. If it happens in minute 89, there's no chance they're going to win. Ciao Augusto, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I wonder if you are actually in the chat right now. Pretty hard to tell. Just 55 to go for the magical 1000. I'm off to work. Enjoy the end of the final. Have a good day. Thank you so much for spending some time in chat today, Mambo. Have a good day at work. Hey, Xiao. I'm new to the game. Oh, you are? Did you return, or are you brand new? Enjoying the final here. I'm glad you... Brand new, a year in the game. Pretty good, pretty nice. It's a bit, a little rare these days that new players in the game aren't actually returning to the game, but a year in. Which country do you play in, if you don't mind me asking? Brazil, yeah, and Cap Verde. Okay, very nice. How many teams do we actually have in Brazil? Brazil. Whoa, 9,000. Brazil is actually a big boy country. I wasn't even aware. Ah well. That doesn't matter how long you played. If there's any question whatsoever about Hattrick, you can always shoot. Always in the YouTube channel, always in game, in the mail, anywhere. So did you find Hattrick on the app, or did you find it on the web? Games on the top is it's a great source. It can be, even though there can be some concepts in the top games that you should completely disregard as a new player. But I'm always open to questions or anything, even though I'm not the most experienced. And I can't say that because I did take a few breaks. Okay, I had a friend introduced you to Hattrick. That was 20 years ago or so. More than 20 years ago. I was the guy in my friend group who stumbled upon Hattrick and introduced my friends to Hattrick. My friend won a few Danish Cups. And he played in the top flight in Denmark. He never won the Danish championship, but he did win the cup twice, I think, with his team. And then my other friend also played in the top league. 1 minute to play. I think it'll be too much of a rush now for Minsk to actually turn this around from this scenario. So the new Hattrick Master champions, Dernet Ballonpie. I called a 3-2 win. I think it will be 3-2. Sorry, 3-1. I don't think we'll see anything happen in the added minute, to be honest. It was... they had to rely on the nervous event. Didn't happen. Right now I'm struggling in understanding the earning of chances. I've got a few games winning the mid and losing the chances. Well, you have to win quite substantially in order to make sure you get all the chances, because it's still only like a weighted dice. So you have to increase your midfield rating even more if you want to have a better dice. And then you have to remember that it's not all chances are based on midfield. Some of the special events, if you lose that game within the game, you won't get those chances. It's all over. 3-1 for Dernet Ballonpie. Let's see if they... Let's see if they got the trophy already. They did. Look at that trophy. The Hattrick Masters. Congratulations. We'll just write in the guest book, I think. Congrats on the Masters Championship. Match ID. Let's take a look at it. But this is a game from 2005. What is your team called? Let's take a look at your team. All right. We have a lot of fans already. You seem to be winning your matches. Django United. Is there any match in particular? Oh, in the arena match. 6-2 loss. Okay, let's check it out. So let's see here. Oh. Okay. Okay, you have to look at one thing here. So when you look at the start ratings, the difference is less. The difference is 3 sub-levels here. And it is all the way up to this moment. Right, and then it varies a bit. So you have to remember that the final ratings you see here is an average. So when you start out the second half, you're basically at the same point. And then by the very end, you dominate by a whole level here. And the lower, like the difference between level 7, if you were almost 8, so the relative difference between 7 and 8 is less in the beginning than the relative difference between 5 and 6 as well. I mean, it's unlucky that you get less chances than your opponent. No, it's not about the goals, it's about the chances. The difference is way less here. Also, if you look, this is the difference, how the chances are distributed. But if you look at the actual the ratio, I know it's not determined by, but it shows that the difference in the beginning of the match, like when it's this close, 47-53 or 42-58, you could basically treat it as half and half still, because like the statistical variance is still so big. You're quite unlucky here, but it will happen. Yeah. I would probably rate it a little less unlucky than you. Oh, than you and the simulator here. Where does he score the goals? Right side? Left side? Quick event? It's hard to know exactly what the central attack. The difference here is this shows how close the ratings are to each other number wise, and this is an interpretation of how often you would get the chance distributed by the system. Back in the days, we only had these ratios. It could be that, like if you have 51% chance, if you have 51% possession, you have more of a chance to get the chance awarded than 51. But it's also, it's still important to understand that if you lead by 1, if the difference is 1 at the end of the half, the XP or the other sectors, experience contributes to all abilities, to everything. But the thing I'm trying to say is, when you have 3 sub-levels above your opponent in the 45th minute, because all of the ratings are lower, this is a bigger difference in the match engine than this difference of 3 sub-levels, 0.75. Because the difference between 7 and 7.75 is less relatively than the difference between 6 and 6.5. Sometimes, because the levels are fairly new teams, it does look like, it also looks like a substantial difference when you play at a low level. Imagine imagine this was the midfield rating when the game starts, right? And then by the end, it's like this. Like when you draw it out, like you make a graphical representation of it, it seems like a substantial difference as well. So I think it's also because the ratings, like if you have less ratings, it looks much more like it is a big advantage still. And like you said, you are unlucky. But it does seem a little dramatic when it's drawn out, especially when there's less ratings. If we could... another subscribe. Thank you, Maciej Świetlinski, for subscribing to the channel. It's okay. The thing is, it's actually... Whoops, I wasn't supposed to go there. Supposed to go to the Masters here. Like if you look at this starting minute here, 8, okay, but that's man marking. Okay, it's hard to tell in this particular match because both teams employ a match marker. But if you see 18.5 against 19.25, and that's also 3 levels, but 6%. But if you look at the end, the thing about being so frustrated about such a chance distribution, 8 versus 5, expected because Murphy's Law, it can and it will happen. So expect that to happen and be happy when it doesn't. Don't be frustrated when it happens because you weren't expecting it to happen. Expect to, like if you want to have a good time with Hattrick, lower the initial expectations of luck or whatever you call it. Expect to be unlucky a little, and then be happy when things are normal, if you could say it like that. And be very glad when you are very lucky, but acknowledge the fact that you're lucky. Exactly, and that's another thing I like to point out. Be happy when it... Yeah, I mean, it's not like you should be expecting to lose in Hattrick, but just... It's like if you just adjust the expectations. So like, okay, if like every Sunday, I'm thinking, not to be a pessimist, but I'm like, yeah, I might be screwed over by the game engine today. I'll be happy if it doesn't, and never be lured into thinking. Never be lured into thinking that if you are unlucky, it's because you did something brilliant. Be very, like, pay attention to the fact if you're lucky, and like, just be happy about it. Don't count on luck. Don't count on luck. Yesterday I played my secondary team, hoped for extra time, scored at 1% in the middle. Yeah. Exactly. Like you score those 1% chances when you want your team to draw because you want extra training. Now and then you think, oh, it's 1%. Okay, imagine, let's say you have 10,000 managers doing that each and every week. Maybe not against their own team. Yeah. Like, my colleague knows, because like most often when I check the midweek matches in the Let's Play series, I play my Danish and my San Marinese team against each other each and every week, because there's a chance of getting 30% extra training, right? And the good thing to check is, did I get extra training? And the bad thing, did I get injuries or anything else? France, Israel still deadlocked 0-0 in the 55th minute. Nations League right now. How many extra guards and soldiers did they need for that match? That's completely out of this world. Lokta Tyson, have I seen you in the chat before? I don't think so, actually. Welcome on in. Perhaps I did. Oh, yeah. That's a little like Murphy's Law, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for the stream. See you next time. It will not be Saturday. I'm counting on a Sunday stream. I was actually thinking the homegrown league starts in the halftime of San Marino. And what I'm trying to say is, I was actually thinking about offering the homegrown league people some, like, the option to get some live coverage while I'm streaming for San Marino anyway, and then prolonging the Sunday evening stream. It's quite often that I'm able to stream Sunday evenings, and while I don't enjoy the homegrown league simply because I want to play with transfers, it could actually be good fun to follow the content of those leagues soon, because I mean, they're all equal, and it's all of the concepts they're doing and how they're going on about it, or going about it, I should say. Perhaps there'll be some interesting matches to follow. Thinking about it. Lotta. Also, I was just about to ask, what's your team called? Gallus Kickers Frankfurt. You're new to the game as well. Are you a return? Run for your life. Do you by any chance play with anyone in Mau Mau's community? FC Scorpio. Let's check out your latest matches. Gallus Viking Red Pandas. Five VIP seats. You should be adding more of these. Each of the section is like an individual stadium. Like, they're not intelligent. So if the fans can't buy more, like a seat under the roof, they won't. Oh, I'll upgrade to a VIP seat. You should definitely add more of those. Just a little quick advice here. 4-3-3. So now I'm expecting to see 3 young strikers here. 19, 18, 34. That's a league match. What are you training? It's just like whenever it sounds like I'm starting new teams all the time. I do manage 4 teams though, but it's a good idea to at least add a few VIP slots early on. It used to be 70,000 euro for the base fee for construction in Hattrick. Now it's only 100,000. Sorry, 10,000, 100,000 Danish. The thing is though, every time they have to go home without a ticket for the VIP. What do you train, Lotta? If I may ask. Michael. Oh, you train. Oh, okay. Blanke, that must be wingers. Hey, Michael. Blanke. Oh. Yep. Thank you for your content. Helped me a lot to start again after 2016. I'm glad to hear so. Glad to hear so. Did you start, did you return very recently? Okay, Loptal, I'm gonna show you something. Returned in June. I'm going to show you something now because you need to be training younger players for to see some good results here. I'll show you something. I'll show you my the search filter that I used back. I'll start off somewhere else. Like my transfer history, let's just go with the team in San Marino. So I bought 4 young wingers to start out my training. Johnson Otum. He got to play on the under 21s, actually. 5 games. And he also got a new haircut. Then I bought a Delio Minarelli. He still looks like a decent player. I bought Tully. I don't have any Oceania guys to help me pronounce this, so I'll just stay away from that. Oh, look at... Decent. We bought Julio Macato. He's not been trained consistently after I sold him, I see. The point I'm trying to make is, I bought these at 17 years old. Now, Delio, 70,000 euros, sold for 4 million euros. I multiply by 10 to get the Danish kroner. The thing is, you need to find some young players that will gain value training wingers. Max TSI 950. Winger, inadequate. Max passable, something like this, inadequate. Playmaking as well. Quick and unpredictable, perhaps headers. Like this is your, okay. 29 days, something like this. A basic search filter for you. Then you hit search. And then you look at these players. I don't know if you've earned any money, Lapta. But try see if you can pick up a... See if you can pick up... It'll perhaps take a little... time, but don't stress. Like you can train, I'll write it out, because when you train wingers, you can train 4 times 100. %100% speed at wing, and then you can train 4, like 2 each game. At the back. Like just focus on finding the 4 wingers, and then you'll need a bit of patience. If I go back to my transfer history, Delio Minarelli, 2 seasons. No, sorry. Yeah, 2 seasons. 4 million. I sold them only because I found my best Charlie here. Two seasons. Pretty good. If you have more patience, you can even go beyond. I think I'll show you. I did the exact same thing in Denmark, my primary team. The figures will be a little different now. That's because the market is a bit slower. But you will be able to buy the same kind of players. Or like this was quite lucky because 2 seasons, he was a little more expensive. Quick. Look out for the quick ones. People have a kind of a fetish for the quick players. Kenny Cordina, he got to play for the under 21s. Now, the initial winger training cycle is just to make some money. And the reason why I like to recommend wingers, it's fast. Like if you just started at Hattrick, you get to see people, the players pop a bit. You see them pop more often. You get to generate some side attacks for your matches. And there's not a lot of people training wingers, and it's easy to train because I'll give you one more example why having patience training these guys is better. Once you get the money, you can buy a little less talented wingbacks and just train them 50%. Then you can try to swap them in the friendly if you get extra training to get them to 66% training instead. If you are patient and keep training these guys, €1.2 million, that's yeah. Now if you are there's also an example of a piece of very bad business, but I'll explain why this happened, why I was stupid enough to not just let this guy go. Right, so this guy was trained the exact same way, found in the exact same way, just a bit more talented than the guys we just searched up right before, right? And he was bought at 17 years and 4 days. So we wanted, and I'm saying we because it was an arrangement. He was trained by the team here, Lillevangsskibene, in my Danish league. And I told him, just train him until he's mythical winger. Because that's what I needed for my build, to bring him in. And because we had this arrangement, I went into a bidding war and I was like, oh, I can't let this guy go. I really want him. My problem, we had a set of 2 Danish wingers being arranged for, so I overpaid for this guy and I missed the other guy. It's just, but the idea is, if you have the patience to train for 3 seasons, €8 million. So if you want to make some money, that's the case here. I would recommend winger training. If you need more directions on what to look out for, feel free to write my inbox, right? And we can talk more about it. But definitely, unless you want to start skill trading, I would recommend a training regime like this with the wingers. Most definitely. Beach Turtle, I just want to check in on that team as well. I use my 4 teams to experiment with some variations. Oh, I see. Yeah, and I would also, I've made a, maybe not a bad decision, but it's actually a bit of a an issue for me that how can I show you guys? How can I, like, this is my main man. Because I had this homegrown player coming up, just about 21 years. I sold my wingers early. That's the reason why I didn't keep training. Like, I stopped it, and I wanted to start with these 3 guys. Even though there's not a spec on these 2, I'm trying to see if we can reach the top without all spec players. But if you look at the age of Zanotti here, 21, almost. Then you have the age of Rico here. He's also homegrown. Even this is a better set of core players, right? And yeah, so now I am basically running 2 cycles that are supposed to peak at the same time. The problem is I'm competing against myself. Like, when I have to pick up, not the PNF for my build, when I have to find the different players, I'll have to think, okay, am I buying this with my Danish team or with my team in San Marino? Because players will be rare, so that's a bit of a downside. The Danish team is more well established, and if it becomes a real problem, I think I have to tap out of the San Marino team. But it could very well be the case that we have to do so anyway because we run out of money. That's why I keep saying we are on a tight budget in San Marino. And it's not going too well right now. But we'll have to turn that around. I'm going to try that as well. I was going to buy 31-year-old players because they're reasonably cheap to buy. I go by a saying is I don't want to waste any extra penny that I could save. But it's like you have to balance it. I would probably think in order to get some return of that investment in terms of earning money from gate receipts and prize money, you would have to get some pretty good players in Germany for that run around. But yeah, I have another limiting factor. I might as well show you guys. My two best strikers are actually passable in leadership, so I'm trying to get them as high as I can in experience. Not to make them excellent coaches, because that'll be way beyond our budget, but perhaps towards the end of the cycle we could get passable leadership coaches without investing any money. And right now they're still capable of scoring a little. One of them will be replaced naturally once the PNF in the build is introduced. Well, I'm gonna go for youngsters, I should say, but maybe just an older goalie to stay in the league. Yes, just prioritize the trainees beyond everything else, and then add the other things. Prioritize the trainees before you expand your stadium. So that's the top priority. Trainees, stadium, and then the extra players. If I'm to boil it down in any way. Yeah, good leadership. I mean, that's always fun. I used to, back on one of my teams, I had a very talented player in my team, and he was also solid leadership. And I just started imagining all of the journey, like starting out as a youngster being promoted, becoming the best player in the team, and eventually being the coach, and then being an honorary president or something of the club. Imagining the whole scenario, the whole history for the player. I like that about Hattrick as well. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm doxing my team so badly right now, and I need to shut down the stream and be grown up and go to bed and get ready for work in the morning. But always shoot me an in-game mail if you have any questions. I'm actually on the verge to apply to become an official mentor. I have been mentoring like unofficially through the mailbox with a few players and other communication channels, but who knows, you might be able to get me as a mentor in the future. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. I'll see you guys soon. Sunday evening perhaps, San Marino live stream. That's what I hope, at least. Now it's time for bed, and I'll eagerly be anticipating at least the form updates tomorrow. We'll see. I think Zanotti is about to rise as well in San Marino. That would be cool. But yeah, those guys also need everything of luck that they can get in the form, because they are on the verge of being, I should say, selectable for the under-21s. Both of the best trainees in each of the teams. So that's a nice little extra thing that might come into play for the cycles. Anyway, now I'm yapping. That wasn't supposed to happen. See you guys soon. Take care. Have a great training update this morning. Have a good evening.